Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Yamaha PSR EW310 and PSR E373. Now these models haven't officially been launched yet, however I have managed to find some details about some of the new features in these models. I believe as well that some of these features will be seen on the PSR E473 and EW310, so keep that in mind. So these new keyboards have all of the same features as the previous models, but we've got some nice new voices. So we've got some super articulation technology which has been derived from the PSR S series in these new instruments. So I've got a website up here which has got a brief description of some of the features, and if we look here we can see 11 super articulation Lite voices are mentioned, and it obviously says here inherited from the PSR S series models. So these voices, if you're not experienced with them, give you greater flexibility and expressiveness when you are playing the keyboard. So if you've got a guitar, for example, you can have fret noises, slides, and they will be generated automatically when you play the keyboard. You can also use assignable buttons, and on the PSR SX series and S series as well as the GNOS, you can use a foot pedal or a foot controller to add in extra sounds, so a foot tap on a guitar, or a breath noise for a saxophone or a trumpet. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to use a foot pedal on these E series models to trigger effects like that, but there is an assignable articulation button on the panel which is mentioned here. So we can see super articulation Lite voices can be controlled with the Art button, the articulation button, to intuitively reproduce the natural expressive nuances of non-keyboard instruments, allowing keyboard players to achieve realistic expression. So what's obvious to me here is the super articulation Lite. There's a lot of emphasis on that Lite, and it's very similar to me to the Revo drum technology implementation in the PSR SX900 versus the GNOS. So the situation with that was we have the PSR SX900 which has all of the samples of the GNOS Revo drums, but it doesn't actually have the Revo technology. A super articulation Lite voice is likely to be a super articulation voice stripped back a little bit to suit these lower end models. The PSR SX600, which has also recently been launched, now has super articulation voices, so it makes sense for these E series models to have slightly stripped back voices, and it could be a matter of not having some of the little nuances that we see in the higher end models, but the core technology of super articulation will be in the lower keyboard models, and it's about time really, because the guitar samples, the trumpet samples, the sweet trumpet, we've had the sweet saxophones, the soprano saxophones, and things like that haven't been updated in such a long time, so it's really nice to see some of the super articulation technology coming to the lower end models. Now, as well as these super articulation Lite voices, we also have the new smart chord feature in the EW310, E373, and most likely in the replacement for the PSR E463 and the EW310. So what this means is when you play a single finger chord, the keyboard will automatically generate more complex chords. So, you know, for example here they've mentioned simple pop triads to complex jazz seventh chords. So instead, you know, you can play a one note for a C chord, but then if you add in the triad you can get a seventh chord or a seventh flat fifth, you know, all sorts of complex chords if you're not able to play the complete chord. So that seems to be all I can gather from this website and all of the description here, but it does look like it's quite a big upgrade in terms of some of the voices that we are seeing. As always, thank you ever so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.